Alright guys, so today's video we're going to be checking out what I feel is probably the best overall value when it comes to noise cancelling headphones. And the pair that we're going to check out is the brand new One More Sonoflow headphones. Now these do come in retailing at 99 bucks, although these don't technically come out until September the 15th. So right now on One More site, which I will link in the description, they actually have an early bird price that you can pick these up, which brings them all the way down to $79. And let's just go ahead and start right there, because One More is one of those companies that they've kind of focused a lot on true wireless earbuds, and they really haven't come out with a pair of headphones in a very long time. In fact, the last pair that I remember, and this is one of my favorites, is One More's triple driver over-the-ear headphones. It was just one of the first pairs to use that many drivers. It was really unique in the design, and it's kind of held up. They still sell it to this day. So the fact that those are still even $150 on sale right now, when the Sonoflows are coming out at $99 and even the early bird price of $79, it's pretty intriguing, especially considering the market that's out there. Because right now you have the Bose lineup, which is the 700 headphones, or either the QC45s. Both of those pairs retail for over $300. You have the Sony WH-1000XM5s, which also retail for over $300. So we're going to check out some of the features, what all these have to offer, talk about the sound and the noise canceling, and see why I think these are a hell of a bargain coming in at only 100 bucks. So to start with, these are using 40mm diamond-like carbon diaphragm drivers. They also have a film that they put around the drivers that allows these to have that vibrating bass if you want. But what makes these special is they are also high-res audio wireless certified. Now, usually when you see high-res audio on the outside of a box, even if it's a wireless pair of headphones, it's usually meaning when it's in wired mode. But because these support LDAC playback, that makes these high-res wireless audio certified. And I'll go ahead and tell you right now, that is definitely the Bluetooth codec that you want to be using with these headphones to get the most out of them. But we'll talk about that a little bit more once we get into the sound. Now these also are using One More's Quiet Max active noise canceling. One More has tuned these headphones in a way where once you switch it over into noise canceling, it doesn't heavily affect your audio like a lot of the other headphones. Because usually when you switch a pair of noise canceling headphones into their noise canceling mode, it starts to sound a little boomy or kind of close in your sound a little bit. But One More kind of prides themselves on the fact that you can switch it over into noise canceling and you're not going to lose out on the audio quality. And they did an excellent job here. And the noise canceling on this pair is very effective. Now it's effective not only when it comes to lower tones like engine noises and AC units and things like that. This pair even does a very good job of blocking out people talking. Now, I'm not going to say that this is on the same noise canceling level as the Sony or the Bose. I would still put the Sony and the Bose maybe at blocking out 90 to 95%, and I would put the One Mores at around 80 to 85%. So if you look at the value from that standpoint, it's only about a 10 to 15% difference, but the price is still a huge difference. You can technically get 3 to 4 pairs of the One More Sonoflows at the same price as the Sony or the Bose. Now the Sonoflows also work with One More's app, and I am going to say that One More's app is definitely not comparable to Sony's. It really does feel like a bare bones app that's just giving you just enough function and features, because really within the app this allows you to keep the headphones updated. There are 12 different EQ settings that are built into these. It does not allow you to customize the EQ settings, which is kind of disappointing, but I'll go ahead and tell you this right now. You really want to switch on the bass boost EQ. I will talk about that again once we get into the sound, but that just made these headphones definitely come to life. And another thing you can do within the app is it does have a burn-in feature, which is playing some sounds through the headphones to kind of loosen them up a little bit. But another feature, and this is weird that it has it under experimental features, is this pair also has multi-point connection. But you have to go into experimental features to turn this on, and it allows these headphones to connect to more than one device at a time. And then as far as what all comes inside the box, they do include a nice hard case. In fact, it reminds me of the ones that come with the Sony WH-1000XM4s. The Sonoflows also come with a 3.5mm headphone cable because you can use these in wired mode. And then it also comes with a USB-C cable for charging. And speaking of the charging, the battery life is very impressive on this pair. If you just decide to use them with the noise canceling off, you can actually get 70 hours of playback on a single charge. And even if you use them with the noise canceling on, you can still get up to 50 hours without having to charge the headphones. And if you do just happen to pick the headphones up and they are dead, this pair does have a fast charge feature where a 5-minute charge will give you 5 hours of use. And that definitely comes in handy because if you're out the door and maybe even going on a trip, that will cover most flights that you're going on. It'll definitely cover if you're going to the gym or maybe even the beach. So I really like the fast charge option that they have on these headphones. But moving over to looking at the build quality and the design, the materials, although it is mainly plastic as far as the arms and the bands go, you can see the stainless steel or aluminum adjuster that they have inside. On the top where the headband is located, it does have a pleather material with OneMore's logo right up top. It is plush enough, but like I said, these headphones are so light that it really doesn't need padding at the top. The ear pads are extremely soft. They're using memory foam cushions inside, and the pleather-like material that they have on there, it is very soft. In fact, I find it really comparable to the Sony headphones. And then as far as the actual controls, they decided to go with physical buttons. And I like this decision because I feel like with touch gestures and slide controls and things like that, sometimes headphones just don't register what you're trying to do. And then it gets a little frustrating trying to use them. One thing that I do feel like these headphones are missing though is there's no smart sensors. So if you're listening to music, somebody comes up to talk to you, you can't just take the headphones off and they'll pause. You actually have to either pause them yourself or switch them over into the transparency mode. That way you can just carry on a conversation. And speaking of conversations, if you do like to use your headphones or earbuds for taking phone calls, the Sonoflows have 5 environmental noise canceling mics, which basically means that the mics are trying to focus in on your voice while you're talking, but also trying to block out a lot of the noise around you. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
So here is the mic test using the OneMore Sonoflows. And as you can tell, it picks up my voice very well. In fact, I do feel like it sounds a little warm and maybe has a little bit of a digital noise to it. But this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here's the mic test for the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. But so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call.
So now let's talk about the sound, because although we've listed some pretty impressive features to this point, I feel like it's the sound that puts these above all of those other ones that I've listed previously. Now, out of the box, it's definitely not the best that you can get these to sound. In fact, out of the box, I felt they sounded a little muddy, a little congested, and they just kind of sounded dull overall. But once I went into the app and I turned the LDAC playback on and I went into the EQ settings and switched on the bass boost mode, that made these sound so much different than the way that they did out of the box. In fact, that's what makes these stand out amongst the other ones, because not only do they have the best bass compared to the Sony, the Bose, and even the Sennheiser headphones, they still retain all of the clarity in the mids and the treble. And that's pretty impressive considering these are just single driver headphones, because the bass is very powerful, but the treble is nice and bright. In fact, they got it right up to the point of almost being harsh, so that allowed these to have a lot of shine and a lot of detail, but not be very fatiguing, so you can listen to these for a long period of time. But it also has the mids pushed forward enough where if you switch it over from metal to hip hop to pop or to whatever genre, you never felt like the vocalist fell back or lacked anything. It always felt like the vocalist stood in front of the instruments while it still had this very aggressive dynamic sound. And the other thing that was surprising is how much they allow these to be dynamic but still not affect the soundstage and the sound imaging, because this pair still sounded like a very open pair of headphones. Until you switch noise canceling, it does kind of close it in a little bit. and then being able to tell where different sounds are coming from, this pair just handled with no problem. So really, my overall opinion is this. This is easily the best bargain that you can get in a pair of noise canceling headphones. Not only does it have very effective noise canceling, but it has some of the best audio quality compared to any wireless headphone out there. Now, picking it up, it doesn't feel like the most robust pair of headphones, but I think they did that on purpose. Having a very lightweight pair of headphones, especially if you're somebody that travels, makes a lot of sense. I do wish that this pair had the smart sensors because most noise canceling or wireless headphones have this. But outside of that, it's kind of hard to complain when you can get noise canceling and sound like this. Mixed with battery life that it's kind of insane. Not even the bigger brands can really compete with that. But even the fact that these do compete with those bigger brands in the price that they're at makes this an easy pair to recommend. But guys, that wraps up my video on the brand new One More Sonoflows. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.